Hello viewers and students, and welcome back again to today's tutorial, today's lesson. I'm still your instructor for the whole Python course, Dr. Don from Learn with Your Brains. Now, in this video, we are going to talk about what we call lists. I know back in high school and the basic school, your tutor always said, hey, can you go to the board and list maybe 5 of your best friends? Or let's say you list 5 of your favorite animals, or list 5 stupid friends you have. I know it was funny by then, but now it's needed here. Now, what are lists? Lists are just used to store multiple items in a single variable. Okay, and you know, in Python we have a lot of data types, which we talk about, like int, float, you know, those kind of stuff. But do you know that list is also a data type in Python? They are all built-in data types in Python, which is used to store collection of data. So list is one type of data type, which is used to store collection of data. And there are some other 3, which is called the tuple, the set, and the dictionary. We'll talk about that in the next video or in our future videos, okay? Now, how do we create a list in Python? So I'm going to clear this. Perfect. Let me run the code so that we have an empty environment, nothing is running. Now, to create a list, let's say you were told to go to the board to list maybe 5 types of fruits. Or let's do it for like 3 types of fruit. Okay? So, in Python, when we're talking about lists, as I told you, is a collection of data. And the collection of data is also stored in a variable. Anything you are doing in Python, you should know that variables are so important. Because that is where you're going to store information and call those information onto the user interface for people to always see. Okay? So, we'll create a variable. Let's say the fruits. Okay? Fruits. We will assign. Now you see the assign operator. That's what we talked about in our last video. Yeah. So as I told you, anything we learn in this Python course is so needed everywhere. So you need to take good use of it. And don't try to say you are learning it just for learning it. When you learn, you practice. When you learn, you practice. So, in Python, we use what we call the square bracket. This to represent a list. So anytime you see this square bracket in the code you see around, whether it's a Python code, you should know that when you see something like that, it means the person was trying to create a list. So in this square bracket, we are going to list our fruits we like. So we use what? The quotation. You can use single quote. I'm using double quote here to be able to list the fruits we want. So we have some fruit like apple. We use the comma to separate or the list of fruit. Okay, we have banana. Here we also have cherry. Let's say we have grapes. They're my favorite, watermelon. Good. So now this is a variable, and we've assigned this all this list of fruits. So let me undo this. Yeah, if I assign all these fruits to this variable called the fruit. So when I print this variable, which is the fruits, okay, there, fruit. It's going to print all this list of fruit onto our console. So let's run the program. Now we could see all the list of fruit we stored in this variable, which is apple, banana, cherry, grapes, and watermelon. Now, a list of items right here are ordered, it can be changeable, and also allow duplicates. So in list, you can even add multiple or duplicate what has already been listed here. So we can also add another apple, and in programming it's accepted by what this list data type. I hope it's clear. So in order, you can order it, you can do any changes you want, you can even allow it to duplicate, and this is what is allowed in the list data type in Python. We can also print the length of this. So we can use the length function as we did in our previous video. Then let's try to bring our parentheses right here. Then let's run our program. And now you could see we have 6 list of items here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So as you could see, we're able to print the length of items in our list. Now we can also try to print the type of this. So as I told you, if you don't know the variable this is stored, whether it's a string, an integer, or a float, you can use the type function. So let me delete this. Now I don't know whether this is a list. I'm new to programming. I don't know whether it's a list, it's a dictionary, it's an integer, it's a float. I can just use type. Okay. Then when we run this, it's going to tell us a type. So you could see that it is a list. Okay. So with this type function, we're able to print to know whether this variable which is storing all this is a list or an integer or a float or a dictionary or any other data type. Now we also have the list constructor. So what this list constructor do is, instead of writing this or with this block of square bracket, we can also use the list constructor to do the same thing. But that one, what you need to do is, let me delete this type function. What you need to do is use the list, then you need to delete this square bracket, then wrap it up with parentheses. Okay. Perfect. Now when you print, you should get it back here. So you see, we are using the list function to do the same thing, but this time we are using the parentheses right here, because we are using the list function, just like the one we use type, and we wrote type, which means we need to wrap it up. Because any type, you use a function in Python, you should wrap it with the parentheses. Okay. So when we run this, it's going to give us the same list. So you can either use the list function, or the best way is to use what I showed you earlier on, which is let me delete this, or let me undo everything. Back to where we were. Perfect. Now let me run it again. Now, yeah, perfect. We are back to where we were. Yeah. So there are four collection of data types in Python, as I told you. We have the list, we have tuple, we have set, and we have what? So as time goes on, after this lesson, we will move to those data types. Then I'll explain those aspects to you. Now, how do we access an item in a list? So we have apple, we have banana, we have cherry, we have grapes, we have water, we have apple. To access something from a list, we use the index. So here is 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I told you that in programming, indexing starts from 0. So if I'm to print an index of 1, it should return hot banana. So let's say index of 1. Now let's run it. Now you could see that banana has been hot printed. Because apple is 0, banana is 1, in that order. So that is how we got access item from a list. When I do -1, which means the apple here needs to be printed on the screen. Let's try it. Perfect. Now you could see apple being printed on the screen. So that is actually how to access an item from a list in Python. I hope you're getting all what we are doing now. Now, what if I want to change a value in the list? So imagine this. I just want to change banana to, let's say, purple. How do I do that? Now with this, all we need to do is the next line. Let's type the fruits. Now check the index you want to change. This is 0, this is 1. So in the square bracket, let's set it to 1 because we want to change the index. Then assign your new value in quotation, let's say purple, to it. So we want to change the index of 1 from banana to purple. Then after that, let's print the fruit and see the changes we just made. So now we have apple, we have purple, we have cherry, grapes, watermelon, and apple. Okay. You can change it back to banana. Then let's run it again. Now banana is back. But now you see we have apple here, apple here. So I want to change this last apple to the purple rather. So instead of using 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, I can use 6. But I want to count it from back. As I told you, when you're counting reverse, you start from -1, -2. So let me fix it here, -1. Then let's change it to purple. Now let's run our code. Now you can see we have apple, banana, cherry, grapes, watermelon, and purple in our list. So that is how we do what we change items in a list. So since you'll be able to change items in a list, we need to also learn something of how to add an item in a list. So to add an item to a list, we will call a method called what? Append. Okay. So imagine I want to add another fruit to this list. I will delete this. Then I will hit the dot. Now these are all the methods for list you can use. Okay. We have sort, pop, copy, count, index. I'm going to use the append. Okay. Method. So I'll just type append. And the append wants an object. All these are what objects in the list. So he's asking me of an object I want to pass through here. Then I'm going to pass one object, which is orange, which is not in our list. Just type orange. Then now when we print, you can now see that we have banana, cherry, grapes, and now here's our orange. And now when we check our length of this fruit, let's check the length of the fruit in our list. Now we have what 7 items. At first it was 6, now we have 7. So that is actually how to add items in the list. We can also use the insert method to fix orange or any item to a specific position we want, using the index. So imagine I want to put maybe orange here at where banana is. All I need to do is to delete this, then use the insert, okay? The insert method. Insert, which asks for 2 values. 1 is index and 2 is the support index, okay? So, okay, we want to fix it at 1 in this one. So 1, then there should be a comma. Then what are you going to fix there? Let's say which kind of fruit? Let's say grape. Yeah, let's say another grape. Perfect. And now when we run this, let me clear this. I need to delete the functions so we can learn. We have apple, we have grape. Now grape is in the position of 1. Then we have banana, we have cherry, grapes, watermelon, and apple. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Now you could see that you've been able to assign grape to a position of banana. First grape was different place, but now we've tried to put it on a different position as it has been printed here. Okay, so that is actually how you can insert something in the list. Now we have something to call the extend method. I'm going to show you how to do that. So we can have 2 lists. Let's say we have the fruit as 1. Then we create another variable called maybe tropical fruits, okay? Tropical. Yeah, let's just leave it tropical then. We put different fruits. Let's say mango, it's a tropical fruit. Then we pass in pineapple. Then we pass in another papaya. Yeah. Perfect. Now, having all these together, what we're going to do now is use the extend method to extend this. Okay. So what are we going to extend? We are going to extend this to the fruits we already have. So we use the fruit dot extend method. Then we pass our tropical in it. As simple as that. And now let's print. Now look at what is happening. We just use this extend method to add all these lists in this variable. We just added to this. So look here, we have apple, banana, cherry, grapes, watermelon, and apple. Then the mango continues, pineapple, and papaya. So now when we print the line, what are we going to get? Control R. Now we have 9 items in our list. You see how fascinating it is when you are coding, trying to get and understand every single aspect of what you are doing. So now you'll be able to add something to the list. We're going to insert, be able to extend. Now, how do we remove something from it? So to remove something from the list, with this fruit, we just delete this. Then we just type remove. Now we want to remove banana and cherry from this group. So we just use our quotation, banana, banana. Then we separate with the comma, then cherry. Perfect. Now when we run this, type remove takes exactly 1 argument, 2 given. Okay. As you said, it takes all out 1 value. Yeah. So we did a mistake. We need to. Now you see, this was a type error. Remove takes exactly 1 argument. And we give 2. So when you are coding, always try to understand the type of error and try to read. You see, that's why I told you English is important. Remove takes exactly 1. So we've already deleted 1. So let's try to run again. Now it's printing the length for us. Let me delete the length function again. Perfect. Now let's run it again. Now banana is up. So we have apple, cherry, grapes, watermelon, and apple. So we also have something we call sorting in our list. So how do we sort a list in Python? It's as simple as that. So with the fruit, with all this list here, what you need to do now is just use what? The sort method, dot sort. And that's all. Let me delete this, or let me comment this out using the console. Yeah, we don't need that one now. Now, do you know what it's doing here? The sort method has sorted all this from what? A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H. So it's in H, and W will be the last, because W, when you look at the alphabet, from A, W is actually at the last bottom here. So apple, banana, cherry, grapes, watermelon. So this has been sorted using the sort method. So there are a whole lot of method in lists. When you hit dot, all these lists you can use in your programming. So I know you've been able to learn more about listening. Make sure I've been so calm, go down to your level and minimize the speed of my tutorial, and trying for you to understand everything you need to know about lists and the upcoming video of dictionary search tuple, so that when you are working, you'll be able to understand what you are doing, not just reading everything and go like you have nothing to do. Yeah, exactly. But when you get this knowledge, especially be patient for you to understand what you are doing. So when you're watching this video, just get time, try to follow what I'm doing so that you get better. The last thing I'm going to show you from lists is how do we copy a list. Okay, so we have this list. Now to make a copy of this, all you need to do is, let's say my new fruit, you create a variable, then equals to the fruits. Then just add dots. Copy method. And now what it's going to do is this new fruit has now been copied and that's been stored in this variable called my new fruit. So when we initiate our print function here, then type in my new fruit, you will see that it's going to print the same thing in this list file. So let's try. Now you see the same thing, 1 and 2. So it printed my new fruit as first, then printed the fruit as second. Because in Python, code get executed line by line. Okay, so when I comment this out and I run this, it's going to give me only the first one. I hope you've gotten all and everything you need to do, like you know about list. So with all this you've learned so far, I'm going to show you something which will be maybe the last thing I need to show you about lists is how to join two lists together. You know, at first we did something about extend using the Tropical. So how do we join these two lists together? Okay, so it's just simple. Let's say this list contains this fruit and we have another, let's say the numbers. Okay, and what do these numbers contain? We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. So these are the fruits and these are what? The number. Now, to join these two, we just need to create a variable called final. Then you assign it to what? The fruits. We use what? The arithmetic operator plus. Then the number. As simple as that. Then now we need to print it. Let me comment this out. Now let's try to write the print right here, because let me comment this as well. So anytime you are not using the code, you can comment if only you want to reuse it again here. Then what I'm going to do is to just type in final or print. What do I want to print? Final. Perfect. So when I run this, now I just look at this. Apple, banana, cherry, grapes, watermelon. Apple, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So you could see like joining two what list is kindly similar to doing using the understand method. Okay, so you should know that you can use this, which is the arithmetic operator, okay, to concatenate one list to other lists, or you can use the extend method to just add them up to what and another list. Okay, so that was all about what lists in Python. I've made sure I've been quiet on your level, like down, not speeding up, so that you get all the concept of how to use lists in Python. And I know from here you are going to be able to write different lists and try to add, extend, join, remove, duplicate, a whole lot. Try to use the methods in lists to play around this. And if you're able to do this, which means in our upcoming video, when you're creating a project and you see something like list like this, it will not be new to you, okay? So always remember this square bracket shows that you are working in what analyst. I'm still your co-instructor, Dr. Don from Learn with Your Brain. Thank you for your time and see you in our next lesson. Take care and have a good morning.